Hi, everybody. Welcome to Living to Do Married at First Sight Review, Season 13, Episode 12. Is there somebody else? What a title, because why would there be someone else if you're at Married at First Sight? You're in the wrong place if there is. Okay, we're going to start off our review with Zach and Michaela. We see them playing bubble ball, and they're all laughs and giggles, especially Michaela. She seems to like this activity. She likes it much more than salsa. They're in big balls where they're in the balls and they approach each other, run up to each other, and they hit each other, and whoever, I guess, falls down or falls back the furthest is the loser. And I don't know if Michaela just weighs very little or if Zach is getting out some aggression, because every time Zach hit her with that bouncing ball, the bubble ball, she flew. It looked like he was tackling her like a football player, and it made it seem like she fell back hard. I know she's in a bubble, but it just made it, I don't know if it was their effects of the editing, but he would hit her and boom, there she is on the ground. Boom, she's on the ground. But she liked it. It was fun to watch. It looks like it would be kind of fun. I'm a little claustrophobic, so I don't know if I can get in there, but it did look like fun. They are talking to each other, and Zach asked, "What is your happiest moment of being married so far?" And Michaela's happiest moment was seeing Zach when he came back from the Florida Keys, when he was well enough to come back after he caught the C-19. And Zach said his favorite moment was dancing for Michaela at their wedding, and they showed a clip of him dancing. That was sweet. I wonder why that was his favorite, though. They seem happy so far in this episode. They meet up. Well, actually, Michaela meets up with her big sister, Sharifa, and she recaps her marriage so far. Apparently, she hasn't seen her sister since she's been back, or since she's been married. And her sister asked about babies. I don't know why babies, is a thing for that family. She mentioned that, Michaela mentioned that at her wedding. Maybe there's nobody has kids for their grandkids for their mother, no nieces or nephews yet in that family. And she's the youngest, so I don't know why they're harping up her tree. But Sharifa shares with us that Michaela's the type of person to bottle up her feelings and act out her emotions. And yeah, she knows her sister real well, because we experienced that with her also in this short period of time. However, Michaela tells her that she's becoming more vulnerable in recent weeks. Yeah, you really need to stay consistent with that for a longer period of time before we can say that you've actually changed. Her and Zach do a little crafting, scrapbooking, actually, with their wedding photos, which was really, which I think is what young couples or newlyweds should do. A lot of pictures were taken. They looked at the picture, some of the things in the photos they didn't even recognize themselves doing. And it was a nice revisit of their wedding, and making a memorable project out of it. And then they had each letter of their name. They told each other something about that person by each letter of their name, and it was really a sweet poem that they did. Zach was supposed to be more funny, and Michaela's was more serious, but I liked them both. I think that was a cute idea. They should have something like that hung up on their wall or something like that. Really cute. We'll see how they maintain throughout the rest of the weeks. So next up, let's talk about Rachel and Jose. Now, Rachel says that she feels better after their talk. I don't know how she can feel so much better so quick. I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't know if that's a good sign that you bounce back so quick from what he did to you. I just hope things don't happen where they're even worse than what we have seen of him, and you bounce back. That back and forthness, that's not good for you. And I think he needs to work out some issues that he has. Rachel brings up traveling with Jose, and she wants to go on a trip to Europe. She expresses that again and wants to go with her significant other, Jose. Now, Jose, he rather explore the state of Texas. The state of Texas, oh my goodness. I mean, that really isn't on anybody's bucket list. Is it that he is so cheap that he doesn't want to spend money and he wants to do day trips and overnight trips? Oh, that is so boring. Just so boring. They do go to a winery in the episode, and Rachel says she thinks they're in a good place. Jose, he appreciates the little things that Rachel has done. Rachel, I guess, is a school teacher, and they're talking about what she will do, what she usually does over the summer. She thinks she's gonna. She has no work because the kids are out for the summer, and she's home, and she gets bored very easily, and she will be living in Jose's house, and she told Jose to brace himself and do not criticize her during this time. I don't know what is going on with this lady in the summertime. If she's bored, she better work on getting her name on the deed so she can secure her place in that house. I don't know about Rachel. I just don't see her changing that drastically. But, I mean, she seems to know herself and she can't be bored. I don't know what she'll be doing during her time or stay with Jose or in her new home. And Jose says, that Rachel's the type of person that when things get rough, she will bounce. So, she also mentioned that she never had a relationship over in the summer, which I don't understand. I thought she was in a long-term, 8-year relationship. Maybe she never lived with somebody during that time. But I wish it was taping over the summer so we can see how she acts, how drastically different she is in the summer. So let's talk about Gil and Mirla. Gil's lease is up in 3 weeks. So he went apartment hunting. Seems like he went without Mirla. He found a couple of places. I think he did find a nice place. And Mirla, I think it's new, or at least Mirla wants a new apartment. She wants new everything. She wants a new apartment, a new iPhone. She's just bougie like that and wants the best of everything. But I think since Gil went out shopping for it and he's the one that picked it, I guess with her in mind. So if it's a real nice place, he picked it. So he can't say anything about her. Mirla, she FaceTimes with her friend Alicia. Right off the bat, Mirla has something to say about the girl's lack of her lashes. I don't know. She's so judgmental. I could never be a friend with someone like that. It's just so picking people apart, judgmental. Her friend asked, how is it living with a frugal person? I guess that's different from her because she's so bougie with all her name brand, this and that. She's, talks about Gil in the positive light. She says that he is patient. That's not something that she asked for, but I guess she really needs or she realizes that's something that she likes. Someone who will just really put up with your bull. I don't know how many other guys would have done that. They probably would have snapped on her by now. She talks about Gil, that he's quiet when he's tired. I wish they'd film that. I want to see how different he is. He's not so talkative. I would love to see him just different, maybe even sleeping. Gil meets with his friend Christian. They go out. He tells his friend that he did not renew his lease. Um, that's a big deal. His friend asks, "Are there any concerns with the new marriage?" Uh, sh- Gil tells his friend that Mirla's bougie, and he calls her a princess, and she likes to pamper herself, and that she makes good bank so she can afford it. That she's pouty. Now, one thing that he did tell his friend, and I'm sure it bothered him, is that Mirla says that she will not change her lifestyle for anybody. And their lifestyles are very different. And I don't know what he would need to do to keep up with her lifestyle, if he would need to do anything, or if he feels the need to do something, even if he didn't really have to, that might weigh on him. He didn't seem so happy and peppy when speaking to his friend about Mirla. And it wasn't bad or anything, but he didn't seem overly excited. It was kind of factual, not really. I didn't see any really feelings that he expressed to his friend about his wife. Now, where Mirla was talking to her friend, she seemed happy. She said she was happy, and she really seemed happy. I didn't get that same feeling from Gil when he was speaking with his friend. His friend asked if they consummated their relationship. Gil tells us what we all kind of thought. No, that they have not, but he has zero doubts that they will. The way Mirla acts, I can even believe they did. She acts kind of a little giddy. I think it's just a new relationship, and it's exciting. And so if they did, I wouldn't be surprised. Now, one thing we learned is Gil was even talking to his friend, and they showed us a video that, first we knew that she didn't like dogs, and she didn't care for Gil's dog Hype, but they showed clips of her walking the dog. And that was interesting. And he even said now she's asked for her own dog. What the? This girl talked about dogs so bad. Even with her friend, when the dog was there, and the dog is trained, he will not enter her room. He was drooling right outside her door. So it's like he's trained not to go in that room. But now she wants a dog? My goodness, people can change. Okay, let's talk about Brett and Ryan. Ryan, he meets up with his sister Alexa, and he said he's conflicted by so many things. What is he conflicted by? I would like to know, but he does talk a little bit more to his sister, I guess, because he's more comfortable with her. He's alarmed about how Brett keeps the house, and they show a video of him going into the extra bedroom and bathroom, I believe, and things are all over the counter, the floor. It looks like she's been living there for quite some time. It looks like she's been living there more than a month. And he tells his sister that she has clothes in the wash, and he believes, I think from the night before, and he thinks that by the time he gets home it's still going to be in the wash. These are the things that bother Ryan about Brett. He has not expressed anything these things to her, and his sister makes a comment that, well, if it was a Victoria's Secret model who had dirty dishes in the sink, what would you do? And he said he'd do the dishes with a smile on his face. That tells us a lot. So it sounds like, it's her lack of housekeeping, the way she looks. He also mentions to his sister that Brett is high strung, emotional, and he feels he needs to overcompensate for that by staying calmer than normal just to keep the peace and keep the room emotional level just so, not getting overly excited or mad about anything. I don't know if Brett needs all of that. But some of the things that he talks about, maybe if he did express that to Brett, she could definitely change the way she keeps the house. The house looked really, really bad, but if if she knew that she could be more mindful and pick up after herself and keep a tidy home, that would make him happy. I don't know. She doesn't know that that is bothering her, quite honestly, but Brett, the way he showed that place, unless he was just like you, that would be bothersome. Which I was surprised about Brett. But then again, she is going through a hard time. This man's not affectionate with her. So I can understand that. In the death of her dog, in fact, they mentioned that later. I think Brett or Ryan is a very sensitive man. He is very considerate of other people's feelings. This is why he's not telling Brett what's going on, what he's thinking. I guess he doesn't want to hurt her feelings. And people were talking about Ryan before, how he just seemed, even I said it, dead in the eyes. But he is really considerate. The way he talked about his political affiliation. But he doesn't seem like a hard nose. He doesn't care about people, because one thing I've shown, what Ryan has shown, is that he does care about people. He cares about Brett's feelings, maybe a little too much. He's a good guy. When Zach was sick with the C-19 on his honeymoon, it was Johnny and him that put, I think it was beer or something outside of his door. They thought of him. He's very thoughtful in that way. So there's some great qualities about Ryan. One quality that he doesn't have is communication. And even his sister says that she was hoping that he would be more, his communication would be better in his marriage. She doesn't think he's fully transitioned to married life. She knows her brother well. And I think she's right. I think he needs to think of things a little differently. I don't know he's not going to get a pinup doll for a wife in this process. Someone's going to meet you with their mind and heart, and you got to go through the steps, to open up your mind and heart to receive somebody else. And I just don't think he's not even realizing maybe that's what the process should be. He has it in his mind what he's attracted to. But he tells his sister that he doesn't think Brett would like 90% of what he has to say to her, and that's why he's reluctant to tell her anything. Also, the death of her dog, he feels bad about that. His dog, is still with them, and his dog, was eating the condolence flowers that she received from the other couples, and they were really, really nice. They had a shot of that, and Brett's dog was eating those flowers. Brett, poor Brett. She just cannot catch a break. I don't think she's ever done anything in her life to deserve this type of treatment. I'm glad he's protecting her heart, but I'm really glad about that. But I think he needs to kindly, slowly talk to Brett to get this off his chest, and she can know where she stands with him. I think that's what needs to happen. He's sleeping on the couch. He's not even sleeping in the extra bedroom. I think he thinks it would be more offensive to Brett if he's sleeping in the other room. So he's sleeping on the couch, which doesn't seem to be comfortable, and he's not getting quality sleep, and he knows how, he's going to become. He's not going to be able to function much longer with that. Brett, tells him he should go and sleep in the other bed. And he offers the comforter. He thinks that's a better comforter on that bed. And he's still very considerate and kind and nice and good. And so is she. It's just, he can't force it. And it's just sad that these two can't get past that. He needs to be motivated in a relationship, and he just doesn't feel motivated, and he doesn't blame Brett. I really like him. The more I've gotten to know, we've seen of Ryan, I really do like him. He is a nice guy. But he really needs to express how he feels to Brett, and she wants him to express it. I think, they speak to other people about their relationship, but they're not speaking to each other. Brett's talking to her friend Deborah. She needs emotional connection with Ryan. And Ryan's speaking to Zach, and he asks Zach if he already thinks that the marriage is over. And I know he's trying, but I don't know. He's just stuck in a rock and a hard place. Brett and Ryan and Rachel and Jose go to an obstacle course. I don't know. It was Brett's idea. I don't know how she thought this was going to stimulate something in their marriage. Though Ryan had a good time. He really enjoyed himself. And Brett tried. She did try. She's not as athletic as the rest of them, but she did put forth an effort, and it looked kind of hard. I don't know if he would be more attracted to her if she was able to do those kind of things. He needs maybe somebody active with him. He did express that, and she did try. She was a good sport about it, but it's just not working out. Hopefully they still have some more time left, so the outcome of their relationship remains to be seen. Last couple is Bao and Johnny. We first see Bao. She's talking to the handheld camera, saying that she feels deflated. She thinks that she needs to romance her husband. She needs to woo Johnny back. And I believe she's talking about the incident at the restaurant where he got upset and walked out the restaurant. Johnny says that he's 50-50 about this, their marriage. And I guess, maybe he just doesn't like her. He doesn't like her lying. Though he gives me mixed signals. He is hot and cold with her. Sometimes he seems like he likes her. He's kissing her. But then he gets kind of mad sometimes, too, and flies off the handle. This time they're having, it seems like a seemingly happy conversation. Bao tells him that she has a happy drawer. And Johnny says that he doesn't mind if she brings something from her happy drawer over to their apartment. Yeah. See, that's flirty. And she's being, suggestive. And he likes that. She can't be like that all the time. I know they're newly married, but first of all, he needs to initiate something. I don't see what he's much doing to initiate some chemistry with her. They play a game called Truth and Sip. I guess they made that up. And the rules of the game are you ask a question, and if you don't want to answer, you take a sip of your wine. Bao asks Johnny if he's going to say yes on decision day, and Johnny takes a sip. Now, I think he's the one who initiated this game, and then there's a hard question, and he doesn't want to address it. Bao said that she would stay married. She's not quitting. She is all in, and she's going to do everything she can to keep this marriage going. Good for Bao. They cheer. They click their glasses. They're cheering on decision day to say yes to decision day. He kisses Bao, and he says that he's really trying. Um, Johnny thinks, though, that Bao's not putting in enough effort. She thinks she's giving 100%, and he thinks if she's giving 100%, that he's giving 150%. He says he plans dates, he gives gifts, he's flirty, and I think that it really upsets Bao. I mean, she says she puts in a lot of effort. There's a lot of things that she does that's not so sexual, but it's caring for him, cooking for him, keeping things in order. But he needs more. He needs her to initiate more. He needs her for her to invite him to yoga. He needs all this invite, all this attention. I think that's he really needs to look deeper into himself to see why this is so needed, that he cannot operate normally without it. He wants her to initiate more. I just think it should be the other way around. He is the man, for goodness sake. He should be initiating more. He always jumps off the handle. They're having dinner. It's not clear why he gets so upset. You can see it in his face. He's very angry. Then you see the members or the staff members of Married at First Sight walking behind him. He walks out the door in his little pink shorts, just hot and mad about something. Whatever. I just don't see the reason for his anger. His attitude doesn't match the situation that's going on. There's no reason to be as angry as he is. He walks out of the apartment, and the camera pans back to Bao, and she's still eating her dinner at the table. She's unbothered by him. She's probably seen this once or too many times in the short period of time that they've been married. Bao goes to speak to the confessional. She's doing her little confessional, and as she's speaking, we hear Johnny, I guess, in another room screaming. What is it, Johnny? What is going on that you have to act like this? What is inside you that you can't let out, that the only way it's coming out is with a scream, that is bothering you so much? There's such pent up emotion in this guy. And as he's doing this, of course, Bao looks startled. Anybody would look startled. Why do you need to be screaming and acting out? You can talk. You can use your words. Johnny comes back in, and he's leaning against a wall, and Bao walks over to him, holding his arm, and she asks, "What's wrong?" And he says, "It really hurts when we disagree like this." And he tells her that he doesn't think that they are compatible. I don't know. Johnny, after which we hear that Johnny goes home, and Bao says that that's what he does. He ducks and runs, and she stays there. She believes she has to be the stronger one in their relationship. My goodness. Is he the woman and she's the man? She has to be stronger. She has to initiate. She's doing a lot. I don't see the effort that he says he's putting in, and that she's not putting in. I just don't see where he's doing all the things he says he's doing. They're planning to go to his Uncle Frank's birthday barbecue. And Bao, she is made the effort to memorize his family members' names in Mandarin. So when she goes to visit, I guess they'll be impressed with her. Showed effort on her part. But we learned that Johnny goes to Uncle Frank's barbecue birthday by himself without his wife, and Bao's pissed off. Johnny says, and he tells his family that they need to work on their romance. They need to work on their romance is the reason why she can't go to a barbecue with your family. You are so immature. He tells his family he's looking for that feeling that you get, that high school love. And one of his members of the family says, "But you're not in high school. Listen to your family. Do you see how ridiculous you sound?" Oh, my goodness. This is not seventh grade. You don't get excited every time you see a girl walk by. This is your wife. We're doing life. Oh, and you got to work on that, first of all, that type of relationship. And he needs to do the work. While Johnny's at the family barbecue, Bao is at home and she's not happy. She says she is an administrator, director of a cancer institute, and she finds time to come home and cook him a gourmet meal. He doesn't appreciate the things that she does. She's hardworking. We cut to Johnny back at the barbecue talking to his aunt, Allison. And he tells his aunt that he doesn't like the way Bao thinks or the way she communicates. He says the more he learns about her, the less he likes about her. Wow, Johnny. He can't see Bao as his wife. He's some kind of wonderful, this guy. Pastor Cal has to meet with them, and he is needed. Pastor Cal joins them in a Skype meeting or Zoom, and right off the bat, Johnny is pouting like a little child that he is, and they asked him why he is sad. And he said he's sad because he's married to someone that's not right for him. He doesn't like her lying, and he can give an example of her lying. And he explains how they were at the dinner, and she lied and said that she cooks gourmet meals, that she doesn't do all the things he likes. She's not flirty the way he would like her to be, and she has excuses for this and that. And I think he's the one with all the excuses. He doesn't give her credit for the things she's done. And Pastor Cal, I think he sensed there's another issue. So he asked, does he have an affinity for someone else? Is there someone else out there that he wants to be with? And they have their married at first sight, dramatic pauses. And I think they go to the commercial. He comes back. And he says things, he's just so mean. He says he wishes he was matched with literally someone else. She is not that bad where you would take anybody else. Oh, my goodness. He's just really, really mean to her. He says very mean things. She's not the ideal person. And he's comparing Bao to this ideal person, and she's falling short. And Bao she's taking this so well, taking all this emotional abuse from Johnny, because the things that you're saying don't need to be said and are not true, and you're saying it just to hurt her. You're just like just a little child. It's just a child complaining about somebody else, what they're not doing. You need to be doing more. Bao stays strong and confident. He just gets in his own head, I believe she said, but she appreciates Pastor Cal coming in and try to mediate for them or give them counsel, because what more can this girl do? She's done everything that she can, but at the end of the conversation, Johnny says he will push through and give it another try, and he just doesn't have to be mean the way he was to her. He needs to really work on that. He is far too immature for this process. He's the guy who needs to be courted and wooed by a woman. The problem solely lies with Johnny. He blows up very easily, and she said he is a hothead, and we see that. this just wasn't the process for him. He needed intense therapy before he came on this show. I don't think he knew that he needed that. In fact, I believe that all the couples should go through therapy, maybe even therapy offered by Married at First Sight, because there's just so many people that I don't know if they want to be on TV. They're just not ready for the process. I mean, I think they should start with meeting with these people and have them do a simple task, like not simple, but untangle Christmas lights. And if they're able to do that, that they could go to onward to a therapist to work on themselves. And if the therapist thinks they can, if they're a qualified candidate, that they can possibly proceed with the process of Married at First Sight. Because these people, there's just way too many people that are not ready. And we're seeing all this chaos. We're ready. We want to see some people that are really in it for what it's supposed to be and giving an effort and to work in that direction together as a team, as partners, as spouse, with somebody else. We need to see more people that are ready for this process and not people that are ready to walk into a therapist's office. So that's it for Married at First Sight. Please, if you would please subscribe to the channel, like and share this video with people you know. I would really appreciate it to help this channel grow, and I thank you in advance. I thank you all for listening, and hopefully you'll come back next week for the next episode, episode 13. But for now, I'm going to get going because I got living to do. Thank you. Okay, I didn't like this at all.